Hello and welcome to the first of 3 episodes of our documented experience of watching, reacting and reflecting to Iron Chef episodes from Japan. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Dimitri, and today we were watching the Frogfish episode that aired in 1996, making it as old as we are. So neither of us had experience watching Iron Chef in great depth, except for a couple of episodes of MasterChef and My Kitchen Rules.
I keep having to remind myself that this is a 1996 episode and that I shouldn't be expecting great quality of like video footage and like audio. What did they mean, the Oshikawa or whatever of the culinary world? What do they mean by that?
It means like a skilled swordsman. So like a knifesman. Someone's really good at using their knife or sword. Why is he eating a capsicum? What's
oh my god.
The look. That look.
Yes. Well, this is Chairman Kaga, and this plays into that whole backstory that this show has, where like he himself like dreamed of food in a way that never before had been imagined, and he constructed Kitchen Stadium and retained 3 Iron Chefs who would hone their craft and defend their honor against all these other chefs coming in and challenging them. So this comes into how each Iron Chef is specifically good at one type of
cuisine.
National culinary, cuisine. Here we go. Here's the frogfish.
So over the top.
It's so dramatic. The way it's like rises from the depth of the sea. The ugly frogfish. So they get their own teams, don't they?
Yeah, they get their own teams.
Each chef, gets a team of people to help out. That's interesting because in MasterChef, it's just you all have to do it yourself, and they don't have anybody helping them.
Well, this one is more focused on being an actual chef, where that show's just about the cooking.
The actual skills of it all as opposed to like the presentation and the final product.
It's interesting that they get the whole fish, where in like MasterChef and My Kitchen Rules and shows like that, it's like
it's already prepared for them. It's already
chicken that's already prepared. What's interesting is all these people here are actually actors and actresses, and they're joined later on in the show by actual chefs and food reviewers. But so it's so different to MasterChef, where it's all professionals and
oh my god,
food reviewers.
It's so grotesque. It's so like they're hacking at it.
You wouldn't see this on
Can you imagine?
TV. You wouldn't see this on Australian
If MasterChef started hacking fish, there'd be like riots in the streets.
She's excited. She likes a good liver.
She's excited.
The ovary.
You'll see the ovary.
What do you mean? Is that a... that's the size of a baseball. That's huge.
That is massive. Oh my... Can you imagine seeing this on Channel 10 at 7:30? It's like watching The Exorcist.
They'd lose so many viewers.
This show was a hit from when it first came out. Like, it straight away received so much good attention and good feedback. And they reckon that, like, in the 1990s, it was a perfect example of, like, the trend that was coming in where there was a rise in Japanese-made media and entertainment, where previously it had been, like, Western-dominated. And this show, they reckon, was a perfect example of that. Was one of the first to kind of come to the West and be widely accepted and engaged as entertaining. That's insane how so much time is going into cutting it up. If you go and look at MasterChef or something like that, or even My Kitchen Rules, they buy like packets of chicken or they buy packets of fish and they don't actually have to do any of the dirty work themselves. But then again, in our cooking and our TV shows and stuff like this, they don't necessarily keep all those gross parts.
The show utilises every part of the fish.
And use them. Which goes back into Japanese culture and Japanese food techniques, I guess. Yeah, you can see why they call him the, what are they called? The master with a sword or something? What was it called?
The master swordsman.
You can see why they call him the master swordsman.
Yeah, he's so quick.
I feel like shows with shows like MasterChef and My Kitchen Rules, you kind of, if you're sitting at home watching it, you can kind of get an idea of how you could do this at home. And they reckon that this show in Japan was like the first of its kind, where it wasn't the step-by-step, make this at home style kind of cooking. It was more about the skill and the technique of chefs and less about what you can learn at home.
And you can see straight away it's much more competitive. Like they're bringing up
Yeah.
Nakamura's records and the timing of how fast they cut the fish.
I don't think as well, when you look at MasterChef, is more about people like normal people, like people from your like day-to-day life. And this is like important chefs. It's like world-renowned chefs with years and years of experience and qualifications, which makes it so much more interesting because it's less about the fiddly parts and more about their skill. It's like they're not afraid to have these episodes a bit longer than just half an hour or something like that, you know, that so much more time goes into the prep.
It's edited so well, like we're 15 minutes into this episode and 15 minutes is already past cooking. Like it's so well edited.
I wonder if this kind of food is common in like households in Japan. Like if this kind of taking all the bits of the fish and putting it all together, is that common in households, like to feed your kids and stuff? Because they would definitely be more used to it, and that's probably why they put this kind of stuff on the TV, is because it's not grotesque and it's not out there, it's just food, yeah.
And when you watch MasterChef and My Kitchen Rules, whenever they go out there or extreme, it's usually like liver or tongue.
That's
it's
like,
nothing too extreme. Like these guys are literally using every bit of the fish.
They don't have a very big audience.
No.
That I've seen so far.
For a stadium, I think there's like 12 people in the audience.
They're so skilled, like they're so quick. I love this about this, that it's so much more about the chef's skills and abilities and techniques and stuff, as opposed to the dramatics of it all, or as opposed to the kind of petty behind the scenes chit chat that you may see in like My Kitchen Rules and things like that. It's so much more food focused.
And I love how it's a chef running a kitchen, where MasterChef is just individual base, or My Kitchen Rules is a couple. This is a whole team of chefs, and like the dip here looks like a mushed brain, and then it's served with vegetables, or 4 of them, it looks like.
Sushi was the part that I definitely identified with more, because I've eaten sushi before, and when it comes to Japanese food, I instantly go to sushi. I don't go to liver dips.
I was so impressed by this guy's knife work. Like, I understand why they gave him that nickname, because he's just so quick with the knife. I like the way he
It's hard work.
was like puffing, like his breathing hard.
I don't think they get enough credit.
So interesting, this bit. So he grabs the liver, wraps it in the fish meat, then crumbs it, and then deep fries it.
If I had that handed to me on a plate, I would eat it. I wouldn't have any idea that it's liver. Another interesting difference between this and what we're used to in MasterChef is that the chefs aren't commentating about their process through the episode. So in episodes of MasterChef, they'll go away and they'll record like, in this moment I was so stressed out and I was so, blah, 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 blah. And then in this, it's again less about the chit chat, less about, all the drama and stuff like that, and more just about their technique. It's less about what went wrong and what's not going well, and more focused on their professionalism and their skills.
What's cool is how they interview them at the end.
Ask them how they think they went.
It's real professional. It's
authentic.
Sport-like. Yeah, it's real authentic.
It doesn't seem scripted.
Like you'd see this, you'd see this at the end of a fight or end of a battle. That's what makes it so authentic. For how staged everything is in this show, like for how over the top it is, it's very real.
Yeah.
Australian television is very real in the moment, but it feels so staged.
Absolutely. They really made a conscious effort with this show to target it to an American audience. Like in some further readings, like it discusses the process that the producer went to, thinking that this may entertain an American audience because they wanted to bring Japan into the entertainment market.
The judging's so interesting because they've got a combination of celebrities and chefs and food reviewers, so you get different aspects and different opinions.
And they're really discussing.
What's interesting is My Kitchen Rules incorporates that sort of conversation bit, but they do it behind closed doors. where this is right in front of the chef.
And they're so polite. Like, they're yet to make any sort of critical judgment or statement to suggest that it's not good or this could have been done better. Like, so far, it's just all...
I guess it also comes down to that these guys are professional chefs, so they sort of already have that expectation of it being a good dish. Where if you look at My Kitchen Rules and MasterChef, these are amateur chefs who don't have the experience that these guys have. So it's either going to be a surprise or a disappointment.
And it's less to do with him winning. Again, like, not much time has been given to the fact that he's won. But so much time has gone into the preparation and the actual cooking process. It's a very professional show. Cool.
So yeah, thanks for watching. Next week we're going to be watching the beef tongue episode, and see you then.
Bada bing, bada boom.